The Industrial Revolution was an era between 1760 to 1840 that started in England, eventually spreading throughout continental Europe and North America. Industrialization was a transition to new manufacturing processes. This transition included many improvements in the fields of agriculture, textile, and transportation. Many changes took place, going from hand production methods to machines. New chemical manufacturing and iron production processes improved efficiency of water power, the increasing use of steam power, the development of machine tools, and the rise of the factory system. It also included the change from wood and other biofuels to coal. Textiles were the dominant industry of the Industrial Revolution in terms of employment, value, and output, and capital invested.
Have you ever bought a Hanes t-shirt?
Did you know that these shirts were made using a cotton gin, which was an invention during the Industrial Revolution?
You're welcome.
Anyways, the cotton gin separated seeds from raw cotton. This multiplied the amount of cotton that could be cleaned. America's cotton production skyrocketed 1.5 million pounds in 1790 to 85 million pounds in 1810.
Oh, hey, Mom. Yeah, I'll be home by 6. Okay, yeah, bye.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Did you know that the phone was an innovation to the telegraph during the Industrial Revolution?
Wait.
No, you smart one. The telephone. It was an innovation to the telegraph during the Industrial Revolution. The telegraph is the long-distance transmission of textual and symbolic messages without the physical exchange of an object bearing the message. About several innovations have led up to the telephone, and the telephone has innovated into what is now the cell phone, which you can now use it to call people, message people, or send random information such as news, weather, or whatever you want to your loved ones. Just like my friend Bri, the history guy right now, he just called his mom and said he loved her and that he'll be home by 6.
I love food, and I love taking pictures of it. As our world began to populate, the farming methods at the time were not as efficient. In 1700, many wealthy landowners bought much of the land that village farmers had once worked. Within the land, they made enclosures, experimenting with more productive seeding and harvesting methods. Jethro Tull, a scientific farmer, saw the scattering of seeds wasteful. By inventing the seed drill, this allowed farmers to sow seeds in well-spaced rows at specific depths. What does this mean? More seeds took root because they actually were put into the dirt, boosting the crop yields.
Another improvement in agriculture was crop rotation. Crop rotation is the practice of growing a series of dissimilar, different types of crops in the same area in sequenced seasons. It also helps in reducing soil erosion and increases soil fertility and crop yield, as well as mitigates the build-up of pathogens and pests that often occurs when one species is continually cropped. This improves soil structure and fertility by alternating deep-rooted and shallow-rooted plants.
Hey, Bri, which car do you have?
I'll have a Lamborghini. And you?
Well, it doesn't really matter. I can't afford one. I just want to know which car you have.
Why?
Yeah, Diego, why? Why you gotta be so nosy?
Well, see, I just wanted to know because transportation played a huge role during the Industrial Revolution.
You're wrong, actually. Cars were not invented.
I'm not talking about cars, okay? Haven't you heard of a train?
What Diego means to say is that transportation improves greatly during the Industrial Revolution. Many inventions, including the steam engine, steamboat, and railroad, made traveling easier. This encouraged country people to take distant city jobs and spurred industrial growth by giving manufacturers a cheap way to transport materials and products.
Yeah, I knew that. Don't call me Bri, the history guy for nothing.
Yeah, right.
Liar.
The Industrial Revolution was not only a time of growth, but a time of encouragement. Many people opened their portals of creativity to create new products that were simply made by just combining two inventions.
In 1769, a wig maker, Richard Arkwright, had observed that even with the improvements of the Industrial Revolution, the handloom weavers could not keep up with the demand for cloth. He therefore set out to design and produce a much larger spinning machine that would be able to cope with the increased demand. His design became known as the water frame. It was given this name because it needed energy from a water mill to power it. It was therefore too large for cottage work and consequently had to be placed in a large building known as a factory. This meant that for the first time, a family involved in the production of woven cloth were now split up. The women of the family, whom you will remember were the traditional spinners, now had to leave their cottages and work in a large building where the water frames had been installed. Since these factories used water as their power source, they tended to be built in areas where a good supply of fast-flowing water was available. These early water-powered factories, because they looked like large water mills, became known as mills. They were mainly concentrated in the mountainous areas of Britain, where water was plentiful. For the first time, men and women were separated in their work. The men stayed at home to produce the weaving, and the women left home each day to work in the factory, producing the yarn for their menfolk to weave into cloth.
Did anything bad happen?
Of course something bad happened. It's life.
I mean, even with jobs for workers, increased production of goods, fostered technical progress and inventions, and an increased wealth of nation, there was still some bad.
Yeah, lots of stuff happened, like poor working conditions. 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. No government aid to provide in case of injuries. Class tensions in middle class, upper and lower middle class, and the working class laborers replaced by machines.
So what did they do?
Reform laws were created to restrict the amount of hours an individual could work. Age limits were enforced, slavery was abolished, and the fight for women's rights ensued.
That's all we have for today, folks. Until next time. Not supposed to say that.
You can cut that out.
Alright.
Okay. Why are you filming me?
Or the telephone, as you may know it, was an innovation to the telegraph during the Industrial Revolution. I need the script. You're welcome, yo. Like poor people, poor working conditions. Oh my god!
And Charlotte Rue de Plants.
Oh no.
Just go on.
That's where it ended.
Oh.
What? No,
Too bad, I'm
We
ready.
can't put Brian's face in there, but just my voice.
Yeah.
No.
what are you doing?
There's multiple. No!